So this particular video is me just taking my time walking through Federal Emergency Bunker. This is a level in Tom Clancy's The Division 2, and in my opinion, probably one of the more artistically pleasing levels that I've seen in a video game overall. Now, yes, there are many levels that I do like. There are many levels that I do appreciate, and you probably are wondering why in the world am I making a video about a Division level? So, ladies and gentlemen, in the last few years, I dabbled my hands into some game development, and it really got super dabbly. I don't know how else you're going to put it. And I've spent right now at least as many hours as I've spent playing The Division 2 on just game development in terms of just maybe conversations, ideas, all kinds of exploration in terms of the technology, learning, tutorials, just the whole immersion and seeing what you could do from an individual perspective. It even put me in a position where in 2021, I went ahead and started an LLC that was actually designated to make video games. It was quite an interesting journey at the time. Then I was prototyping. I was learning some cool stuff. I was kind of trying to, in my opinion anyways, consider what kind of video game I was going to make. But one thing has been very, very important in game development that you don't necessarily pay attention to much as the player, or maybe after a while you stop paying attention to it if you play a game like The Division, is the level and the level design. The level and the level design has many critical aspects to it. Number one, it really highlights the setting within which you're playing the game. Number two, it really does appeal to, in my opinion, the art in terms of what it is that you, the player, are going to be experiencing as to how the level is built and, how the level is lit and how the level is basically constructed from an artistic perspective. And then, and the final piece, how the level is built for the gameplay sequence also allows for engagement as well. Like the way you feel, the things you have to do within the level, the interactions that the developers have set in place, these things all come together to make for a really cool experience that you're not really thinking about, but the very first time you kind of make your way through a level or an area, you basically somehow instinctively interact with it in a very interesting way. There are things that you see that you may not pay attention to, but now that I've started to take a look behind the curtain, it's much more impressive to me. Now, you may just say, but this is not necessarily such a big deal. However, I've dabbled into some level design. I've seen some of the work that comes out of it. This is something that takes, a lot of people to, time to put together. And what's even more fascinating with a lot of level design stuff is how there are just areas that lead to nowhere. Like here, if you look back here where I walked to, here in this particular level here, turn left, and then you walk all the way back there. There's literally nothing there. It's literally like you just walk to this place. Sure, you get some tools, but that's about it. And that area there would have taken a good amount of time for them to light up. They put some lighting around the world so that you can kind of see what's going on. It would have taken just a good amount of time to basically make it look believable, or in a sense, attractive to players who like to look at the nooks and crevices of everywhere, only for it to lead to something, in a sense, a small reward. Nothing wrong with that. But those are some of the cool things that I've come to appreciate. And believe you me, Tom Clancy's The Division actually nails this part. And basically a 100% out of, in terms of scoring. Like if you were to score this stuff, it's a 100 out of 100 for the Division team. They nailed it with the Division 1 for the most part, but the Division 2, they took it to a whole different level. I think even with the challenges that the Division 2 has had, one of the reasons many people still keep coming back is the experience of the world and level design. It just has a feel to it that you can't put your finger on it. And even many of us would even dare say that it's inferior to the Division 1's level design, but we still are playing it, right? I think the Division 1 had something that was more, in a sense, prevalent, which was its mood and its atmosphere. That's way more prevalent than it is in the Division 2. However, Division 2 is quite a solid entry in that regard. So let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about some of the levels, and what are your favorite levels in the Division 2 overall? Share them with me, and we'll continue this conversation later. So thanks so much, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.